Welcome to the Assembly Local Government Committee hearing. We are continuing to practice physical distancing in the hearing room and throughout the Capitol building. So we are only able to have a limited number of people watch and participate in the hearing in person. We are also requiring that masks be worn and physical distancing be maintained by everyone present here in the room or in the video conferencing site. We will hear all other bills in the order shown on our agenda. We will take 2 primary witnesses in support and 2 witnesses in opposition for each bill. These witnesses will have 3 minutes each to provide their testimony. All subsequent witnesses should state their name, organization, and the position on the bill only. All subsequent witnesses in support or opposition may provide testimony in any order. We don't have a quorum. We do have a quorum? Oh, good. All right, thank you. So we do have a quorum. As secretary, would you call the roll? Here.
Present. Lafayette.
I'm here.
Present. Bloom.
Here.
Present. Warner Holbach. Ramos. Here.
You were about to present right now.
Yeah, I'm going up down.
Okay, thank
Robert
you.
Rivas. Local. Present.
It's going to be a late night.
Hopefully not.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. I want to thank you and your staff for your help on this bill. COVID-19 has highlighted the need for broadband access and the gaps that still exist across the state in service and access. While funding is critical to fill that gap, so is the need to ensure rapid deployment of broadband permits. AB 537 modifies the state's broadbanding permit process to ensure it aligns with updated federal rules. AB 537 makes sure that local government makes decisions within the federally mandated timelines, which are typically 2 to 3 months, depending on the type of project. In 2015, I authored legislation which codified the government's shot clock for broadband projects and established California's current permitting timelines. Since the federal government updated their shot clock rules in 2018, AB 537 simply updates California law accordingly. This bill will make a real difference to our constituents who desperately need improved internet access for school, telehealth, remote work, and commerce. It will make sure that high-speed internet projects are delivered in months instead of years. Here to testify in support of AB 537 is Dan Switzer on behalf of Crown Castle and Jonathan Arambell on behalf of CTIA. I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quirk. Operator, witnesses in support, please.
Queue, their lines are open.
Yeah, good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. My name is Dan Schweitzer. I'm the Director of Government Affairs for Crown Castle. First, I'd like to thank Assemblymember Quirk and Chair Aguilar-Curry for your years of commitment to expanding broadband access in California. We share your goal, and that's why we're proud to sponsor AB 537, because it will allow high-speed internet projects to be completed in months instead of years. California already has permit shot clocks in place for broadband projects, thanks to Assemblymember Quirk's AB 57 from 2015. This bill simply updates California law to reflect the new federal timelines that were recently adopted so that shot clocks are consistent. We believe that AB 537 strikes the right balance. It preserves local control by allowing cities to use whatever process they want to evaluate broadband permits, and it allows them to approve or deny the broadband permit. All this bill does is make sure that the cities make a decision within federally mandated timelines, which are typically 2 to 3 months, depending on the type of project. This bill will make a real difference for Californians who desperately need improved internet access for school, telehealth, remote work, and commerce. It will make sure that high-speed internet projects are delivered in months instead of years. And AB 57 will make sure all communities get quicker access to high-speed internet projects while maintaining local control. We thank you for your support and ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Next will be Jonathan Arambell.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. My name is Jonathan Ehrenbell. I'm here on behalf of CTIA, the Trade Association for the Wireless Industry. I know it's been a long hearing, so out of respect to everyone's time, I won't use my whole 3 minutes repeating all of the great talking points we just heard. I'll just quickly add, as it's been mentioned, the Assemblymember authored AB 57 in 2015. I just want to highlight that it has been successful in helping the wireless industry keep up with the deployment of wireless technology. AB 537 will add on to that and continue that success and help with deployment of technology that has obviously proven to be a necessity in California. This bill takes a reasonable yet incremental step towards a more streamlined process while reserving local government's rights. And, the wireless industry is preparing to invest billions of dollars to deploy infrastructure that's obviously critical for our communities. And we could talk all we want about investing billions, and there's obviously many bills in the legislature trying to put billions into infrastructure. But if you can't get a timely permit, we likely won't see the outcome that the legislature is striving for, which is closing the digital divide and getting Californians connected. For those reasons and those stated by the author and the previous speaker, we respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Are there any other witnesses in support?
Thank you. If you are in support, you may press 1 and then 0. We will go to the line of 238.
Lucy. Oh.
238, your line's open. Hello, 238,
Hello?
your line is open. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Madam Chair and members, I apologize. I had the wrong number. Roxanne Gould, representing the Wireless Infrastructure Association, a sister organization to CCTA, and we are in strong support of this measure. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to the line of 282. Your line is open.
Good afternoon. This is Justin Heyer with the Silicon Valley Leadership Group, and we're proud to support this bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next, we'll go to the line of 228. Your line is open.
Madam Chair and members, Courtney Jensen with Fernandez Cervantes Government Affairs on behalf of Verizon in support.
Thank you. And we have no further support in queue.
Thank you. Now witnesses in opposition. And I believe we're looking for Tracy Ryan with the Rural County Representatives of California.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. Tracy Ryan, representing today Rural County Representatives of California, the California State Association of Counties, Urban Counties of California, and the California chapter of the American Planning Association, with a position of oppose unless amended to AB 537. The need for equitable access to high-speed, reliable internet connectivity has been made abundantly clear as many of us struggle to do everything virtually this year. From shopping to school to healthcare, our lives are conducted online more than ever. As we are all aware, there are segments of California, typically lower income in rural areas, that lack the necessary access to everyday services because internet connectivity is either inadequate or non-existent where they live. Like Assemblymember Quirk, local governments have made expansion of broadband access a priority. Our organizations can agree with the stated intent of the bill to align the federal shot clock requirements in California law and even allow a deemed approved remedy for those new accelerated permitting timelines. However, there is far more that is outlined in the bill, most of which is unclear in both intent and effect. Specifically, AB 537 includes additional language to the deemed approved provisions that states that wireless facility permit is also deemed issued and construction may begin. It is unclear what this process means and the effect, and further, exactly what problem this provision intends to solve. Additionally, language in the bill related to construction in the public right-of-way can be interpreted as removing all local government's ability to review or deny the safety-related assessments for this type of construction. Lastly, AB 537 states that the shot clock timeframe shall begin when the applicant has taken the first procedural step of the process. This language is ambiguous and causes significant implementation concerns. We applaud Assemblymember Quirk's efforts to increase access to broadband services. However, we believe this bill needs to be narrowed to the stated intent to codify the federal timelines and provide a deemed approved remedy in those cases where the local government fails to meet the applicable timeframes. We appreciate the author's engagement with our organizations up to this point, and we look forward to continuing to work towards a solution that moves us closer to bridging the digital divide. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there other witnesses in opposition?
Thank you. If you're on the phone lines and you're in opposition, you may press 1 and then 0. 1 and then 0 for any opposition. And we have no opposition in queue at this time.
Thank you,
Madam Chair?
Thank you very much. Questions from the committee? Are there any questions from the committee? Yes, Assemblymember Vopel.
I have a comment. This bill is excellent. It's about as perfect as you can get. And I base that upon a family member that designs, builds, and programs many of these facilities. This bill is perfect in the sense that it recognizes the new technology that's coming out. There won't be, in the future with 5G, and they're working on 6G, there won't be the giant towers, et cetera. There'll be little, almost invisible things that emit whatever it's supposed to emit. So this is spot on. I didn't mean to get too technical there.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Quirk, Assemblymember Quirk. I failed to address the gentleman that's here who's opposing the bill, and I'd like to
Please.
give him the opportunity to speak. I apologize, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Is the mic on?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. Mark Graham on behalf of Keep Cell Antennas Away. There are 2 reasons you should vote no on this bill: health effects from cell antenna radiation and local control. The Federal Telecommunications Act of 1996 preserves local zoning authority. Why should the state eliminate local zoning authority that the TCA preserves? A cell antenna is currently and should remain a municipal affair, as that term is used in Article 11, Section 5 of the California Constitution. Thousands of studies show that legal amounts of electromagnetic radiation causes harmful health effects. Many of these studies were provided to this committee in 2017 on SB 649. The United States National Institutes of Health study, November 2018, found clear evidence of cancer from cell phone radiation. In 2016, the International EMF Scientists' Appeal said that electromagnetic radiation is hazardous. It causes learning and memory deficits and structural and functional changes of the reproductive system. There was a similar resolution by the California Medical Association in December 2014. Section 2H of this bill exempts fire department facilities. Why is that, members? We need social equity. If the cell antenna radiation is not safe for firefighters, why is it safe for the rest of us? You do not need a state law to ensure that local governments comply with federal law. Does that make sense? We're talking about shot clocks, and the Federal Communications Commission has set them. Currently, local governments can and do regulate cell antennas while also facilitating their deployment. That deployment is already happening very quickly. We rely on local governments to protect us. Many Californians have woken up to suddenly find a cell antenna on the street light pole or the utility pole right out in front of their house. And they suffer from constant headaches, insomnia, and ringing in the ears. And many of these people are literally driven out of their homes, forced to sell and move. Members, turn off your cell phone and your Wi-Fi at night. You will sleep better, and you will have better energy during the next day. And that is your proof that the radiation from the Wi-Fi and the cell phone has been affecting you. Cities must retain the ability to implement ordinances and agreements.
Please wrap up.
Yes, such as those implemented in the city of Elk Grove in order to protect public facilities and address the specific and unique needs of a local community. I urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will continue with committee questions. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion? Move the bill. Yeah. Okay, I think we have the bill already done. Am I correct, Secretary? We already have a first and a second? Do we already have first and second?
We didn't before. I'll second.
Okay. Assemblymember Barnard Harvath, did I say that right? And Assemblymember Lackey. I know. Okay. Would you like to close, Mr. Quirk?
Yes, we'll certainly continue working with the rural counties. These particular concerns came up recently. We certainly do want to make sure that everyone understands what we mean by when the shot clock starts, and they were concerned about that. And the other one is somehow, believe me, we do not intend to change the federal guidelines. And the purpose of this is to change is to have a remedy if people don't meet those. So I guarantee you this bill will not imperil safety. Thank you. Oh, and ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. I appreciate Assemblymember Quirk for your work on the bill and on this issue as a whole. As you know, removing barriers to broadband deployment continues to be one of my most pressing priorities. If our digital divide wasn't stark enough before the pandemic, if our reliance on the internet and the infrastructure that supports it was not clear enough before the pandemic, these challenges and opportunities should be crystal clear now. This bill continues to move us in the right direction. We must eliminate the inequities in internet access that continue to stymie our communities. I am pleased to support your bill today. Motion is due pass to the Communications and Conveyance Committee. Secretary, please call the roll.
Aguiar Curry.
Aye.
Aguiar Curry, aye. Lackey.
Aye.
Lackey, aye. Bloom.
Aye.
Bloom, aye. Burner Horvat. Aye. Burner Horvat, aye. Ramos. Aye. Ramos, aye. Luz Rivas. Aye. Luz Rivas, aye. Robert Rivas. Aye. Robert Rivas, aye. Vopel. Aye. Vopel, aye. You have 8-0.
Okay, your bills, I believe, out here.
Thank you, Chair and members.
We'll leave it open if we are missing anyone. We have everybody?